guys, welcome to the Beauty and the Business Show. I'm your host, Jay Stover. We have another amazing show today, another amazing resource show today. Today we're talking about caring about your credit. We're discussing the importance of maintaining good credit and also repairing credit if you have poor or bad credit. My guest today is going to tell us about the beauty in teaching people about financial wealth and providing the tools needed to win. Introduce yourself to the listeners.
Hi, my name is Ishere, and I run a credit repair business. It's called PC LLC. I've been doing it for about 3 years now, probably a little over before I officially made it my business. I have a little over maybe 800 clients right now. You know I get nervous. I don't know why you do that.
Don't be nervous. Why are you so passionate about helping people to restore their credit?
Well, I think credit is something that should be taught in high school. A lot of people don't know anything a lot about credit. A lot of African Americans don't know a lot about credit. It's not taught. And I'm all about helping people save money, helping them have that knowledge as well, and keeping your money in your pockets, because a lot of people don't realize when they step into those terrible situations how much money actually kicked out in the end than rather what they could have been saving overall.
So would you say people upbringing or their not being educated is the reason why they go towards having bad credit?
Yeah, a lot of people, they don't have the knowledge or the information that they need. I have so many people who don't even understand how to read their credit report. A lot of people don't even know how to read a credit card statement. So they don't understand, what's going towards interest. They don't understand how to utilize the credit cards in a great way. So a lot of it is lack of knowledge. As I always say, I think this is something that should be taught in school. This is something that should prepare people, because when you come out there at 18 years old and people are throwing credit cards your way, most people go in debt immediately by the time they're 21. By the time they're 25, it triples, because they don't have the knowledge or understanding on how to be disciplined with credit cards, and also how to maintain and build your credit and keep it that way.
Okay. For me, worrying about my credit, I didn't worry about my credit until I was an adult, like in my mid-20s. Like growing up, it was like my parents would put stuff in my name. We were wondering how the cable got cut back on. Everybody just was looking at me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was happening. Or even like I remember being like 19. We was in a store, and I got approved for one of the store cards. And everybody was like, "Oh, you better hurry up and spend it right now while we here, because they're going to take it back from you." Like, I didn't understand. Like, I just blew the whole card right then and there. And didn't think about paying them back. Just didn't think about paying back. Why do you think people hesitate to seek professional help?
A lot of people that I've ran across are scared to seek professional help because they're embarrassed. A lot of people don't want to take that step to let you know where their credit is. And half of the time, their credit isn't even as bad as they think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But not knowing makes it worse. And a lot of people don't understand that. Brittany, she has so many questions. A lot of people don't understand the whole process of keeping good credit, maintaining good credit. Having 85 million credit cards open, it's not good. And of course I'm exaggerating, no one has that many, but all you need is 2 or 3 good credit cards. That's it. You don't need 10, 12, and you need ones that comes with rewards, good interest rates, things that you get from it as well, not just you making the bank rich.
Let's talk about the credit rating score. We got pictures here. Y'all can't see, but we got pictures here. So the highest, what's the highest? 850?
850.
850 is the highest. Mm-hmm. Is it a minimum?
For what? So the minimum.
What's the lowest score you have ever seen?
I've seen scores as low as 300.
Okay.
I've seen scores very low. A 750 has the same power as an 850. I see people that always want to push for that 850. You're gonna get the same interest rate. If I have a 758, you have an 848. We're gonna get the same interest rate. So there's no point for people to push. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good, but most people. Okay, so for instance, 500 to 620 is considered risky. That's a risky credit score. Borrowers are going to look at you as a risky borrower, so they're going to tap you with the 24% interest rate.
So that's fair.
That's not fair.
Okay.
That's not fair at all.
Okay.
Most people like to see at least I would say 630. And this is your FICO, by the way. There's so many different. It can get lower than that. It's different scoring modules, Shamar. So you have your FICO, you have your different Vantages scores. There's so many different, like for Credit Karma. Credit Karma, always say do not use Credit Karma for your score-wise. Just use Credit Karma for information. Make sure your stuff is correct on your credit report for late payment history and all the other things. But never use it for your credit score, because when borrowers look, they're looking at your FICO. You can get your FICO for free with like credit card applications, like Capital One gives it. Your bank normally gives it. Like people that bank with Navy Federal, they offer free FICOs. That's what lenders use to qualify whether or not what your rating is going to be on whatever product that you borrow from them. But your Vantage score can go low, Shamar. Yeah, it really can.
So the Vantage, this is the first time I heard of a Vantage
Yeah,
score.
I always tell people never use Credit Karma for the score.
Okay.
Never, because that's not what the borrower is looking at. When they run your credit, they're not looking at that. How do you delete the old addresses? I heard that can boost your score. Yeah, you can dispute, but if a
Read the
creditor,
question out loud so we
I
can
did.
hear. I couldn't hear.
Oh, you didn't hear that?
No.
Oh, it said, how do you delete the old addresses? I heard that boost your score 30 points. You can, but if it's kind of difficult. So if a creditor verifies that address on the credit report, then that's going to be kind of hard to remove it off. But it's good to remove them off. You can dispute it. You can. I always say dispute in writing. Never dispute through the apps. Never. Like it's
Why?
not good.
Why not?
It's better just to have it in writing, so you know that you sent it out. Usually, when I do my disputes, I send them out in writing. So
you never win though when you dispute it through the app.
It's dumb to dispute it through the app. People don't understand it. Like,
I'm
don't
guilty
do
of
it.
that.
Do
You
not
never
dispute
win.
through the apps. You can go to their websites and dispute like Equifax, but I still don't recommend doing that. But for addresses, that's something simple. Oh, that's simple.
Good.
Hi. Hey, Lil.
So what credit rating do you suggest for like the number your credit score?
I suggest anyone to be at 850, but at least keep it over 700. But
to apply for credit cards.
Okay, so you're only supposed to have 3 inquiries in a year. 3 hard inquiries. Hard inquiries are when they're actually pulling your credit. Soft inquiries are only when, let's say, I don't know if you ever heard of an app called like Afterpay or Affirm. They use a soft inquiry to run your credit. That's when they're just browsing at your credit score, but it's not affecting your credit score. Credit cards. Like I said, only 2 or 3, but I would make sure my score is over 650 before I apply for one, because your interest rate goes off of your score.
What about a car?
You know, don't ever make the banks rich. For cars, I always say use a credit union. Utilize credit unions. My favorite credit unions for people who had trouble credit, bankruptcy. I'll say, for instance, if you got a bankruptcy on your credit. In Maryland, I would say First Financial, Navy Federal. Those are 2 really good credit unions. MECU, CQ, they're really good. But if you have any type of difficulties or anything on your credit previously, I wouldn't utilize them. If I place a cell phone carrier on my BK, can I apply for a phone with them if I'm discharged? Yes, you can. I do like Point Breeze. My Point Breeze is really good as well, but that's for people who haven't had like a bankruptcy or any type of judgments or anything on their credit. But Point Breeze is really good as well.
What about personal loans?
Personal loans, always use your credit union. Stop making these people like OneMain and Linden Tree, Linden Club, Lendmark. They're 24% interest rate. You're paying for that loan double. Almost double. People that goes up now, I understand everybody's situation is different. Let me say that. I understand everybody's situation is different. Sometimes you have to go into bad auto loans. Understandable. Pay it for 6 months, refinance it. Fix your credit, pay it for 6 months, and refinance it. If you don't refinance it, within 6 to 8 months, then you're stuck. Because when you do refinance, it's gonna be so much negative equity in that car. It's not even gonna be worth it. So.
Are you going to use the same bank for refinance or a different?
No, you go to a different bank.
Okay.
By that time, you should be going to a credit union. I always say utilize credit unions for everything. Credit unions.
What about purchasing a home? Which should your credit score look like?
Well, your credit score, I think, don't quote me. I think it's, Tay, they're really good. Point Breeze is good. I think with home loans, it's 585 FHA. Don't quote me. I'm doing my class now. I'm just about to start it. But I think it's FHA is 585. But I would try to say get to as close to a 650 as you can. You can get it as lower than that. That's fine. Your interest rate is, whatever.
Gonna be high.
But I also say pay off everything. Pay it off. Let your debt to income ratio be 0. Like pay all your credit cards off. Pay everything. Don't have nothing on there, but maybe your car loan or whatever else. But make sure because your debt to income ratio has to be below 55% to qualify for a home loan.
Good. When we talk about the 3 credit bureaus, what are they?
Equifax, TransUnion, Experian.
Which one is updated more frequently? Which one should we go by though? For real?
All of them.
All of them?
Yeah, you should check.
I thought Experian was like over top of all of us.
Actually, Equifax is.
Equifax.
Equifax.
That's where most of the loan officers and
the
banks go to. I thought they just go
most
with one
most
in
people
particular.
The two top, all of them pulled honestly, but the two top is Equifax and TransUnion. People utilize those a lot. I missed the question. Hold on. How do you dispute a charge from a creditor you never had? Verizon is on my credit I never had. So that's considered fraud, honey. You call the Verizon fraud department and you open up a case. If you never had the account with them and it's on your credit, that's fraud. So you call Verizon and they have a fraud department and you call them and then you file a claim and they'll settle everything for you. She touched on a point about when she first came out and how parents opened up accounts for kids that weren't 18 yet. They've making that hard as well. I remember it happened to me. But I just sent my birth certificate and they took it off my report. Now that was how old are we? Look, I had to think, Lord Jesus. So that
10.
was 18 years ago. Now they make you some companies make you file charges against your parents or whoever opened up the account in your name. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had a client that it happened to not too long ago. They make you press charges against that custodial parent that opened up the account.
What company was that? Do you remember what company it was?
BGD is always one.
Of course, you're going down for.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, electric is somebody else name.
BGE is one. Comcast is always one. I've seen BGE more than anything. BGE and Comcast,
Okay.
People always put those two in their children's name.
And it's hard when a child is trying to.
Well, BGE was mine. And
Was it hard for you to start, building your credit once you found out about that account?
Once I found, it was funny because I was moving in my first place.
Okay.
And when I was moving in my first place, they was like, oh, yo, outstanding bill. 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to send my birth certificate, and they knew that I didn't have that account when I was X, Y, Z age. That's all.
Okay. How can people find their credit score again? Did we talk about that? Did we say where they can find their credit score? How can they order the credit report?
Okay, so you can get your credit report for free 3 ways. You get it every year. Each credit reporting agency has to give you your credit report for free. The second thing is that if you're on any type of public assistance, you get your credit report for free. People don't know that. Any type of public assistance, you get your credit report for free.
Where they need to apply it for that?
They go online.
Okay.
Yeah, they can call in or go online. And you got that? You need something else? And any type of fraud as well. Any type of fraud can also get you your credit report for free.
What do you tell people who are having a hard time reading their credit report? What's an easy way to read it?
Well, your credit report is calculated in different percentages. I don't have it in front of me offhand, but 35% is like for your utilization of your credit cards. So you never should go over 30% of your.
That's hard to calculate.
Wait
when
a
you
minute.
try and purchase something.
Don't come for me fast. Don't do that. So It's not hard.
It's hard to calculate when
So
you're
let's
trying
say
to
you
make that
have,
purchase.
let's say
I'm
you
telling
have,
you.
no, but you're supposed to do your overall credit card. So if all your credit card limits total $20,000, times that times 30%. None of your total, not just one, it's your total.
Okay.
So don't just use the one credit card and say, oh, I'm not supposed to go over 30%. No, it's your total limits of all your credit cards.
Okay.
That once you hit that, trust me, you will see, if you go over that 30%, you will see your credit score drop tremendously. Right, Javier?
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
And a lot of people that's, I have a couple
pulling
people.
teeth just
Yeah.
like,
Once you go over that 30%, it's over. Your credit score will drop tremendously and it's hard to get it back. Late pays is another thing. Late pays will hurt your credit as well. We all, have things that happen to us, but there's ways that you can, get that fixed as well. A lot of people don't know that. You can ask for forgiveness and ask for the late payment to be reversed. If you have let's say you had a credit card for like 5 years and then 2 months you were out of work and you had 2 late pays. After you get it current, you request to have the late pays reevaluated.
How would you request it?
In writing.
In writing.
In writing. In writing. Everything has to be mainly done in writing.
So on the credit report, those addresses of the companies and those phone numbers, they are accurate. That's who you would contact.
Yep.
Okay, because people don't know that.
Yep.
Okay. Even on the different apps.
So I never recommend. A lot of people I've been seeing doing lately have been disputing through Credit Karma because apparently now TransUnion allows you to dispute through Credit Karma.
Okay.
Don't do it. Do your disputes in writing. Certified mail them. It's a lot of work. I'll just explain. It's easy to destroy your credit, and it's 10 times harder to repair it. People expect for things to just happen overnight. It's not. It's easy to destroy your credit, and I always tell people that, and it's just so much harder. But repossessions, for instance, I have a lot of clients that fall prey to tough times, and they have repossessions on their credit report. A lot of people don't know. If they resell that car, that's the balance that you owe. So let's say your car was repoed for $15,000 and they resold the car for $10,000. So now the balance is only $5,000. That's what you owe. You don't owe them that. So you need to verify when the car was sold and how much it was sold for as well. And they have to tell you that by law. They do.
See, that's why people need professional.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that because they'll wind up paying the full balance or, in most cases. Now, as far as bankruptcy, we can touch on that. You ready to touch on that? We want to say we can go back and forth. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Let's go.
Bankruptcy.
Let's jump there.
There's 2 different bankruptcies.
What is bankruptcy first?
Bankruptcy is a way you're basically just. You ever heard of Monopoly? Like you file bankrupt, you go to jail, you go bankrupt. I'm joking, but it's basically you're just eliminate your debts. We have Chapter 7, we have Chapter 13. Chapter 13, you pay a payment plan back. Chapter 13 does not eliminate your debts. You pay a percentage of your debts back on a payment plan every month that goes according to your income.
And that's 13.
Yeah. And
how many chapters is it?
For people too, you have business ones as well,
Okay.
but 7 and 13. I always, I try to steer most of my clients away from bankruptcy, but a lot of people.
One of them.
Yeah, a lot. I always, and she'll tell you. I'll be like, no. I tell everyone. Like my sister's on here, Shay. She'll tell you. I try to keep everybody away from bankruptcy, but a lot of people listen to hearsay about bankruptcy and they don't really know the full details about bankruptcy. Pros and cons. Pros of bankruptcy: you're debt free. You're starting over. You don't owe anybody else. Cons of bankruptcy: it stays on your credit. But I can get it removed. But it stays on your credit. You're starting over. Most major creditors look at you negatively, but that doesn't mean that it's not easy to get your credit back repaired. Sorry. A lot of people that file bankruptcy, they're like, oh, I can't get nothing for 8 years, 10 years. That's not true. You can buy a house 2 years after bankruptcy. You can buy a house. Most lawyers that do bankruptcy, they charge you $1,500, like $800 to $1,500, and I'm so sorry. And they don't help repair your credit after. They don't give you the knowledge that you need to repair your credit after the bankruptcy. With people, you have to give them knowledge on how to. I help people repair their credit after bankruptcy because they don't know how to do it. Chapter 7, everything can be included, but taxes from, well, over 3 years, yeah, but we'll get into that. Student loans, a lot of state debts aren't included as well, like unemployment, a lot of things. I mean, you can include MBA and everything, but student loans aren't. A lot of people think, well, there are ways that student loans can be discharged, but you have to qualify for it. And out of all these years, I only seen one person qualify for it. So it's a hardship that makes you qualify for a discharge with your student loans. But bankruptcy is not the ends to a mean. I feel like if you owe more than what you're bringing home a year and you're in a big crunch financially, do it.
That was my next question. Who you think qualifies for bankruptcy?
If you're making $30,000 a year and you have $85,000 worth of debt on your credit report, and it's not like student loans, it's nothing to do with student loans, and you're just not paying anything, you're getting late hit after late hit, nothing's working, start over. A lot of people don't agree with me. Please start over.
I want to thank you, really. I really do want to thank you for denying me bankruptcy.
I'm denying you bankruptcy. I will. Like, and a lot of my clients are telling me,
I'm like, my credit cards up because I was like, oh, I'm about to file bankruptcy anyway.
People were trying.
I came to her. She was like, oh, no, you're not.
No, you're not. You're going to pay this debt. You're going to pay it. Pay it off. And, it take you a year or two, but you just got to discipline yourself. Take things away. Not eating out. Not going to get your hair done, your eyebrows done, your makeup done, buying this, buying that every happy hour. No, you got to learn how to come on a strict budget. And that's another thing we don't know how to do. We don't know how to budget. And I'm not making this a white, black thing, but black people are very
lavish when it's time.
Yeah, we spend more than what we have. We don't have it, and we spend instead of investing, saving for your future. We don't do any of that. Your 401k. Most people don't even know what the hell a 401k is. They don't know what IRA is. They don't know what none of that. They're not preparing for shit. Look at us. By the time we retire, what the age gonna be? 70? What is it now? 65? What is it? Like who won't live that long? I'm just asking. So, just in case you go out early on sick, you have that clutch that you've been saving for. We spend, but we don't invest in ourselves. But we make all these people rich.
How do a person rebuild their credit after they do bankruptcy?
So there are ways. Most lenders will start you off with credit cards. Cap One is one of them that starts you off with building your credit. I always utilize them. I tell them to join the credit union that I was telling you about earlier. So always utilize the credit unions. I've had people, some of them are on here or was on here. Let me see. Hold on. That have filed with me and literally right 2-3 months out of bankruptcy, their credit score is about a 710. My sister Tammy, she had a 750 credit score, 2 months out of bankruptcy.
Wow. That's goals.
And she's on here, so she can tell you, Tammy, let them know. I have so many clients. I try to tag my business page so people can comment so y'all can see, but it won't let me. But it's easy to build your credit after bankruptcy. The thing is that lawyers just don't. They just do your paperwork and keep it moving.
So a question that was inboxed to me was, what was the meaning of charge off when they see on their credit report? What does charge off mean?
Charge off means that the account was charged off with a negative balance. So if you had a Macy's credit card and usually creditors let you go 90 to 121 days before they charge off the account, meaning late. So if you get late pay for 3 to 4 months, then they charge it off and they sell it to a collection agency. Let me say this. Do not pay a collection agency. You do not owe the collection agency. You owe the creditor. You do not, they do not have proper, how can I say this? To put it on your credit. They shouldn't be putting it on your credit. Now, we have some law collection agencies. We do. We have some law collection agencies. LVNV is one of them. They collect for Credit One and Capital One. They will sue you. They will garnish you. They will take you to court. Pay them. But those ones that, they're calling you and calling your mama, sister, brother, cousin, and everybody else trying to get to you, and those payday loans and everything else, you don't owe them. You owe the original creditor. So do not verify anything. When they call you, you ask them, send me the debt validation. Send me validation of the debt. Sending a statement is not validation of the debt. A statement is not validation of the debt at all.
I had an account in collection before.
No, Tay, it's not. Well, it is not on your credit, Dante. I get collections removed,
What did Dante ask?
He said, no matter what, it's still on your credit.
Oh, okay.
No, I get collections removed, but you just still owe the original creditor. Now, I always tell people, just because I got the collection removed don't mean you still don't owe H&M or, Capital One or Credit One. We just got the collections removed, so now that's all on your credit is the charge-off. And the charge-off really don't hurt you when you still got credit that's helping you.
Okay.
So, like, say if your Capital One got charged off, but you still have Navy, you're doing good with.
Okay.
Don't cut me out. Look, I'm about to tell you something good. And Capital One selling it to
something
LV
burning my
Envy.
soul that
I know
I need
it
to
is.
get out.
And they sold it to LV Envy. No, I get that LV Envy removed, but you still have that charge off. Yeah, work on paying that charge off, but your credit's still being built up by the open active account.
Okay.
Go ahead. Ask your burning question.
Because I had an account in collections. I called and made a payment plan. And they was taking a accruing payment out of my account, and then they just stopped. So I called them and I said, y'all not taking your payment out of my account, and they told me like the statute of limitation is over or something like that.
7 years.
They can't take any more money from me anymore.
7 years.
And the balance is still sitting there.
So you dispute that to get that removed off your credit.
Oh, okay.
In writing. Not on the app, in writing. Or you can actually talk to the collection agency since they're telling you that.
So do a lot of companies do that? They
yeah,
won't
but then a lot of
money
them
from
resell
you
them
anymore?
as well. They resell them as well. A lot of them resell them as well. So like say if you see the account get sold, they can sell it to different collection agencies.
I thought it was some kind of fraud.
Yeah,
I was like, they don't want my money?
They do that. They will resell it and your apartment?
No, it was care credit.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
They do
I'm done
not.
with you. No, we're going to talk about that later.
They do not want my money anymore.
I'm not fooling with her. We're going to talk about that later because it's something she ain't tell me.
See, you got to be honest with y'all.
No, and I think a lot of people are hesitant to seek credit repair just because they don't know the knowledge. So on my page, I give the free information. You ain't got to pay me to do it. You can do it yourself. I teach you how to do it yourself. A lot of people are like, oh, it's too much work. Yeah, it's a lot of work to get your credit back to the standard that you want to do. And it's not going to happen overnight. I have people come to me like, oh, it's been 3 months. How long did it take you to max out that $15,000 credit card? How long were you sitting in that apartment before you left that large balance? It doesn't happen overnight. It's not overnight.
How do people enroll in your program?
So there's 3 ways to enroll. You can enroll on my website. You can enroll by inboxing me. A lot of people do it over the internet through Facebook. I have Facebook and Instagram, but I will say my Facebook is more jumping than my Instagram. I be neglecting Instagram. I need to start being back on there on my business page. But you can enroll. Right now I do have a special. And like I said, the information is free. It's PC LLC. You can go to the group page and you can search, questions. Look, I have a lot of things pinned. You can pin it up there. You can look at a lot of questions that was already asked, and you can see examples of letters that's sent for you to dispute things on your credit. A lot of people just don't know, like, credit is everything. Bad credit is no credit. I mean, I said it wrong, backwards. You know what I meant. No credit is bad credit. No credit is bad credit. And you have to learn how to build your credit. And if you're not disciplined with your own money, don't get a credit card. Don't.
Who are good candidates for the program?
People that don't have credit and people who have really bad credit.
Who want to put in the work?
Yeah, who wants to put in the work to get that credit.
Okay.
I see people out here there's certain lenders that I always tell people to stay away from. Santander, Consumer Portfolio. Those both are card lenders. You will pay for that card 5 times on a lemon card. Those 2 lenders, I know some people have to use them, but like I said, if you do have to use Santander, Consumer Portfolio, CSA, it's another one that begins with an R. I cannot think of the name of it. But all those are bad creditors. No one should, my interest rate on my card loan is 2%. No one should be paying 24% on a car. You bought that car 3 times if you go through that whole auto loan. And at the end of the day, as soon as you walk off the lot, the car depreciates about $8,000 to $10,000. You're losing it. So I always say never, ever, ever utilize those, but I understand some people have to. They need a car. If you do utilize them, refinances. They are horrible. What is the other one? It begins with an R. It's in Virginia. I cannot think. It's an auto loan company. I cannot think of the name of it.
I went through MeQ.
Yeah, yeah. But they're horrible, and they will rob you blind. So when I always say that, now I'm going to go to the race thing. Black people, y'all keeping them rich. Y'all keeping them rich. They sell your information to the bar. They sell it to the lenders. For the lenders to say, hey, you're pre-approved for this. You're pre-approved for that. Credit Karma sells your information. They sell your information to people who are in cahoots with them. Mm-hmm. They sell your information. So when they sell your information and then you're like, oh, I got a pre-approval for this. I got a pre-approval for that. Yeah, you got the pre-approved, but you got the pre-approved at a 24% interest rate. You ain't winning. You're not winning.
So they should use Credit Karma just for tracking, but
I would use Credit Karma just for tracking my credit report, making sure things are accurate on there. Nothing else. Nothing else.
Don't be active on the app at all.
I mean, they can be active on it, but like I said, at the end of the day, you know, just use it for the informational purposes. The score is not the score that borrowers, you know, that the lenders use when they're extending credit to you. You got to watch the heart increase, 3 heart increase a year. Now, if you go, that's why I said join a credit union, because when you go to the car lot and you're going to go apply for an auto loan, you're racking up 10 to 15 car increase. I know y'all seen it. Yeah,
Unless
they say
you
it all.
Go there and tell them. When I went there and I told them, look, only process me through one credit union. If I don't get approved, then it's not meant for me to have a car.
And you can tell them that. You
only run my credit one time through this credit union.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, you can tell them that. And another thing is that when they are, it does count as one. So if I work at MeQ, let's say for instance, and I see that you just went to a dealership 2 days ago, and it's like 25 inquiries on there. It does. They look at that as one because they know you were at one place and your credit was ran, but it still affects it because you have all those inquiries on your credit report. It's only supposed to be 3 a year. Age is important as well. How long you've had accounts. That's a part of your credit score as well. The age on. Oh, it did, Dante? You were with Santander with what happened a couple weeks ago with your car? But yeah, this is basically how it is. But you just have to know the difference with your FICO versus your Vantage score. Like I said, there's so many different credit scores, so many different that people don't know about.
Okay.
Also, another thing that they're helping, a lot of rental companies and the rental landlords are helping with adding your rents to your credit report. They're doing that now. So that's another thing to help people.
Yeah. Companies.
Both.
Okay.
Both. They're helping with that. So they're giving people the opportunity to help build their credit with that, which I think is a good thing.
It is.
It helps build your credit.
Especially if you pay your bill on time.
And secure cards to help build your credit as well.
Okay. I think your program is good for business owners or people who want to get in business. Because if I knew the stuff that I knew now, I think that I probably would be further. I remember being in my entrepreneur class and I didn't know anything about credit. And my classmates, they helped you apply for the loans and everything. You just had to let them know what you're banking or what place you wanted to apply for, and they'd help you. I applied for like a furniture store for all of my salon furniture and got denied. Everybody else was getting approved. I got denied. I didn't even know what my credit score was. In my mind, I was thinking like I don't owe anybody. I was like, oh, I'm going to be fine. I'm about to furnish my whole salon.
I'm done with you.
Just because I wasn't educated and didn't know about credit and what to do. I wish I would have knew the stuff that I knew now.
Yeah, education is definitely the key. And back to Dante. Dante, that's good because I was just about to say, I know you've had that car for a couple months now. And that's a good thing because that, in a good way, they helped you because now you're financing through Point Breeze because Point Breeze see that good payment history with Santander. So, and stick with Point Breeze. Also, like Dante, I recommend First Financial too. They're right around the corner from Point Breeze. There's 2 of them. One is behind, what is that daggone steakhouse called on 40? What's the steakhouse?
On 40?
Yeah, by Glen Burnie. I mean,
40
not
is
Glen
not
Burnie.
by
I
Glen
said 40
Burnie.
by Golden Ring. What is that steakhouse called, that restaurant?
I don't know.
It's on the tip of my tongue. Y'all know that steakhouse is right there? Yeah, right across from Golden Ring. What's that steakhouse restaurant?
Yeah, 40. I crossed the I get
Yep,
to
that's
go
what it
back.
is. Longhorn. So it's right behind Longhorn. There's one on Bel Air and Rossville, right by Play It Again Sports. They have 2 branches. They're really, really, really good. They aren't so credit contingent. They look at your payment history overall rather than your credit score. Linnea, the best site to use to look at your credit reports, annual credit report, give you all 3 for free once a year. But if you're on public assistance, if you have any fraud or anything, you can get your credit report for free more than once a year. And you can go to the websites as well, Equifax, TransUnion. Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else asked me a question that I really wanted to answer, and I don't even know where it went.
While you looking for the question, what exactly do your program offer?
We give you the knowledge. Definitely that's number 1 key to help keep your credit built. How to maintain it and to keep making your score boost up. A lot of people think, oh, I just had a conversation with Mom about this. It's so funny. Because I kept saying, Mom, you got to use your card. They're going to close it. Because if you don't use your credit cards, they will close it if you don't use it. Like you got to use your card, Mom, they're going to close it. She said, yeah, I use it. And I paid it right back. I said, Mom, no, you got to wait till the statement generates so they can see that you had a balance. Like, let that statement generate. She's like, oh, dag. I'm like, yeah, when you pay it, the statement generate showing that you charge it, showing you have a $100 balance that's owed. And then never pay it off. Leave like $10-15 on it. Leave $10-15.
See, I thought zero balance was a good thing.
Is it too late to refinance a car after having it over a year? Depends on the year, make, and model. Most people want you to stay Honda, Toyota, Nissan. Ford is even one, even though I don't recommend Ford. But, those cars hold its value. They hold the equity in it. Mm-hmm. You go out there and get a Hyundai Sonata for $30,000. I mean, they're nice cars. Don't get me wrong. You go out there and get it for $30,000. You walk off the lot, it's worth $22,000. Keep it a year, probably worth $14,000. You try to refinance that, then you're gonna owe about $20,000 versus $14,000. So there's $6,000 worth of negative equity.
So only on certain cars you should do that.
Negative equity, yeah, on cars that's gonna hold the value.
Refinancing and all of that kind of stuff.
Even with trade-ins, you do it with a car that's gonna hold its value. Yeah. Santander trash. They was killing me and I wasn't aware of it. So Santander, their first couple payments goes towards interest. People don't know that. Your balance never moves. When you look at your credit report for 6 months, it stays the same. You still owe that same balance forever. I hate them.
That's an auto loan?
Yeah, Santander. Remember I said consumer portfolio,
Mm-hmm.
all those, and they're just horrible. They're horrible.
So who do all the communication? You do or you?
I do all the communication. I am looking to get an assistant now, but a lot of people that apply really don't know too much about credit, even though it's a good thing to teach somebody, but I need someone that kind of knows what they're doing. It was another question I wanted to ask.
With your clients.
You asked me something about clients not too long ago.
With your clients. I'm talking about with your clients. Who does the communication with the
Me.
loan? Okay.
When they're in my program, they cannot apply for anything.
Okay.
That's my requirement. Don't apply, don't open credit for anything. The other thing is that store, like she said, she didn't know that she was going to get denied for her furniture. You should know that. You should know that when I walk into this store, my credit is good enough for me to apply. Don't get store cards anyway. They're 24% interest rate. Pay for it yourself or put it on your other credit card that's cheaper. I see so many people have those inquiries. I'm like, what did you get this inquiry for? Oh, they say if you apply for it, you get 10% off today. Did you get the card? No. So you just wasted the inquiry for $5. 10% off, $5. So you just got a hard inquiry on your credit report for $5. Consumer portfolio is highway robbery. Santander, Regents, that's what it is, Regency. Their highway robbery as well. You will pay for the car 3 times. That's why I say when you get the car, pay it on time 6 months, refinance, just like Dante. Dante got out of it in a good way, but just like Dante did, and now he's going with Point Breeze.
So when people apply for something, they need to research who they actually applying.
But sometimes that's all people have.
Okay.
Authorized users. If you have family members or kids, let's touch on this. Kids, All my kids are authorized users on my credit cards. Put your kids on
Even though
authorized
they're
users.
under 18?
Even though you put them on there 2 months. They got a social security number.
Okay, as long as they got a social security number.
But don't put them on your credit if you maxed out the card and got bad credit. Don't put them on your credit card. But put them on your card as authorized users. Help them build credit. My brother-in-law, I added him to mine. When he was 18, his credit score was a 780 once he looked at it.
Okay.
My kids are mine. My son's credit score is higher than mine. Like right now, like add your kids because it help them have that credit. So by the time when they're out there 18, 19, 20, 21, they already have the credit. They don't, and teach them about credit. Teach them, not to use the credit cards if you don't have it. The 30% guidelines. Teach them about saving. My mama always told me you should always have a minimum of $5,000 in your savings account at all times. Why you out here spending all this money on Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and everything, and you ain't got nothing in your savings account? Something happened tomorrow to your car, you got to beg, rob Peter, pay Paul just to get your car fixed.
What's the time frame for results in your program?
It varies. Okay, so let's say 15 collections, 6 to 9 months. I've never had anyone over a year in my program, I would say that. Most people are done within 6 to 9 months.
Okay.
So, any other questions? Yeah, a lot of us learned about credit the hard way, Dante, because we're not taught it, and it's best to educate yourself. I always say at least try to put up 15% of your paycheck if you can. Put up something. There's this app called Digit. I like that. They do the keep the change like Bank of America, and then you can let them take $5 or $10, every week, or $20, $30 every week. Saving is key, and you got to budget. A lot of people when they're in my credit program, I go over their budget. Send me a bank statement. I see eating out every day. One lady, and not saying it like that, but one lady I had about a couple weeks ago, she spent like $600. You know what?
And the bank keep
$600 a month. Oh yeah, they break it down. They break it down.
Up with that now.
Just eating out. That's $600. So $600 times 12.
Yeah, that's a lot. What kind of advice can you give someone who's listening and debating about enrolling in a credit program?
Research the person that you're with as well. The best advice I would get is stop making these banks richer. Like, get your credit together. Credit is everything. To keep being denied and having 24, she said she needs to stay out the Hazelwood. Look at Kendra. to keep being denied or keep having 24% interest rate on everything, it's not good. You're making them rich. Get your credit together. Teach your kids about credit. How many more minutes we got? I just want to say this. I met a girl when I was working at Blue Cross Blue Shield probably like 10 years ago. Young Caucasian girl, very sweet. She actually gave me more information than my parents did. At 24 years old, this young lady had $62,000 saved up already. $62,000. And I said, how'd you do that? She put up her checks. Of course, we can't do something like that. But she was putting up her checks, saving, all due when she was selling cookies and Girl Scouts, everything. She was saving her money. Another older lady I worked with, Cherry Moody, I would never forget her. She taught me about IRAs, 401ks, certificate of deposit. She taught me that. I mean, when she retired, well, she already retired, but she retired like 2 years ago. She was set even if she retired back then. It shows you how to program yourself for your future. If you say, hey, I'm saving, because I don't want to work till I'm 70. I don't. I want to be done by the time I'm 50 and travel the world. Right. But we don't prepare ourselves for that. So your credit and everything has to match for that. How do you remove an authorized user if card is in collections? You can contact the actual creditor and tell them that they need to remove the authorized user off of their credit report. So you can remove them off the card, but you have to contact the actual creditor, or you can contact the the credit bureau as well, and say, hey, I was just authorized user on this credit report. Kelly, I love you too, Kelly.
We gotta go, but
But if you have any more questions, you can reach out to me, inbox me. The page is PC LLC, and my phone number and everything is in the bio. You all have a good day.
Definitely gonna invite you back because it's so much stuff
they're still going. I can't even
cover. Thank you for coming to the Beauty and the Business Show and blessing us with your knowledge. And if any of you listeners want to be a guest on the show, please email us at beautyinthebusinessshow@gmail.com. Yes, that was some great information. You gotta come back because we ain't
touch everything. We ain't even get